Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today is Vlogoween day 13. And I thought for today we would do kind of funny bird Friday. We would do the Guianan cock of the rock. Now I really hope that YouTube doesn't get mad at me for saying the bird's name. YouTube does tend to get mad at me a little bit. I get warnings and things because I tend to link articles sometimes for figure drawing, and it violates the terms of service in regard to nudity. And appealing, I can appeal what they say, but it's sort of like that age-old adage, like, what is art? So please don't get mad at me, YouTube. Yeah, this bird, I'm gonna throw up pictures. So there's two different types of cock of the rocks. There is the Guianan, and then there is the Andean, and that one has like black feathers, and it has, some of them have really pale like blue eyes. It's really, really pretty. I can't, like, this bird just doesn't look right. So the thing that gets me is, like, one, the spherical mohawk. Like, who's at the barber going, no, we want it round. Yes, round. And we need to underline it. Yeah. So add some black to that, please. I just, like, I can't with this bird. And I think I'm going to make sure, even though this is portrait style, I want to include some of the other like weird feather things down below. But this bird is so strange. Like, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. And maybe I'll make this a little bit bigger. Just me. Yes, like, this is going to be a really good practice session, this bird specifically, for blending. I'll do like a picture of it facing forward. It's very much like a goat or a horse. The eyes are on the side. Like, good luck. Good luck seeing what you're doing. Like, I don't know how that's supposed to work. I'm sorry, I have my lamp on, which really washes out the lighting, but it is cold and rainy today and there's zero light. It's so gray out I can't hardly see. So the eye is gonna be like right over here, and it's gonna be orangish red, so it definitely is like on point with the color theme. Like, everything is matchy 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 matchy. It's so weird looking. Like, here's like the dilemma, and you're gonna be like, how is that a dilemma? When you draw super weird things that a lot of people, like, this bird's from South America, right? And it got its name because it builds its nests on rocks, on cliff faces and stuff, and it uses mud and its saliva to like stick it to the wall. But when drawing things like this, where people aren't familiar, a lot of my North American friends aren't familiar with this bird, like, it's not gonna look right. It's gonna look like I took a chicken nugget and added like a head to it, like I'm inventing a whole new animal. And I'm not trying to bird shame the bird. I'm not. Absolutely not. That's the thing I'm not doing. But it's definitely, like, it fits in with looking unique and being its own brand of awesome. 3/4 of its diet is like fruit. And its system of processing the fruit and not eating and processing the seeds that come back out of the bird help maintain a bunch of the wildlife, which is really, really interesting to me. So it they influence like the regeneration and succession, the success of the forest habitat where they breed, because of how they don't swallow down the seeds very well. I hope you're not eating when you watch this video. I apologize, that's kind of gross, but like, I think it's interesting. The thing with orange birds that always fascinates me. And this one especially, because like its orange is non-apologetic. Like it's 100% orange and it's out there. Is that it's like the reason orange birds are orange has to do with the carotenoid pigments in their diet. So, and how they sort of metabolize and process those pigments and when they grow their feathers. So the overall structure of the bird's feathers can affect the overall color and the orange hue, and how fresh or like properly preened the feathers are. So like think of worn and damaged feathers as not being so bright and vibrant. Sometimes the bird's posture can affect how like light reflects on the individual feathers, and that's something to think about as well. So there's like geographic differences in color, and obviously male and female. I will throw a picture of the female. She's not having the same orange day that the male is having, unfortunately. And then like a lot of classic fruit, like orange shaded fruit, to burnt sort of orange or somber shades or fluorescent orange hues. Like there's so many different shades of orange birds out there in the world. I'll link a little article about it that shows some interesting ones. I will link as many things as you want to read about and look at. I will throw up a picture of one of their eggs. Like if you're on a journey to draw bits and pieces of the bird, but you want to do like their egg as well, I will throw up that picture because I really like the speckling and pattern design of their egg. This bird is just... he's not left, he's right. He's all right in all the right ways. So I'm just laying down like an undercolor. This is like the medium range color, and then I will throw, well, yeah, I will throw some dark for the shadowing and stuff over it. Plus that little like black arch type deal. I don't know. I'm just here for it. Like I'm in a blending mood. Blending can be very like meditative and zen, just sort of going over the same areas over and over, making sure it's really, really even with the pigment you're laying down, and I'm just here for it. But you look at the Andean cock of the rock, and some of them have like really pale blue eyes. They have the black feathers obviously, but they have really pale blue eyes, and like that's really pretty. Like, who said you could have such pale blue eyes? Okay. I think I need to erase a little bit this portion. And the orange lifts really, really well on the polychromos. Some of the colors are too staining, and so you go to lift, and if you've added, you know, something in the wrong area, and it won't pick back up. But the orange is fine. I don't do a lot of orange. That's why all my oranges, if you look at my oranges are the original oranges I purchased years ago. These are all the originals. I just don't use them very much. So when I make sure that I'm trying to do all the colors that there exist of birds in the world, it ensures that I use some of my lesser used colors, which is really, really nice. Like, it makes me feel good when I'm using all the stuff I own. And I'm getting out of my comfort zone and doing colors that like aren't necessarily my favorite. I think orange is the least liked color in the world. I don't know where they find these facts, but I find the facts amazing. I think blue is the most liked color in the world. So if you're marketing or pitching something, make sure you have a blue option. That'll speak to more people. The reason fast food companies are all bright colors with oranges and yellows is because they're excitable and they make you eat more. It is strategic, so this looking at this bird should be exciting and visually more enticing to the eye because of the bright colors. Which you would think that it would be really, really hard for this bird to survive in the little foresty areas that it prefers, being this bright and colorful, because it's so easy to spot. But they are of least concern, so they are not critically endangered or anything, which is nice. It's nice to know you could be bright and orange and folks leave yellow. And they leave your habitat alone. All right, let's zoom in on the eye a little bit. All right, we're on page now, and I want to make sure my pencil is as sharp as it can be. So I got my Mobius and Rupert brass pencil sharpener here. All right. Well, that wasn't a smart move. I just got stuff all over my page. All right, it's lifting. Oh, Friday. How is your Friday going? How is your work week going? How's your day going? How's your art coming along? How is your bird illustration coming? I'm just listening to audiobooks a lot this month. I'm just listening to some like easy listening, shorter ones. I was trying to find like Halloween themed books to listen to. Not too spooky. I have to lead off with that. I can't do super scary. Like I will. I'll watch a super scary movie or read a super scary book, but I'm really prone to nightmares. And I'm like super sensitive. And so whatever I'm watching or listening ends up in my dreams. And sometimes it's horrible. So I have to be really, really careful because I'm so sensitive. I want some of this carmine here. I think this will be a little warmer. That's the thing. If you're going to shade orange, shade it with deep reds, browns. Think in terms of colors that are a little bit richer, a little bit darker. And then from there, you know, if you want to add a little bit of black, just to kind of keep it fresh, keep it going. But shade with colors on the color wheel first before you go straight to gray or black sometimes, and you might get a better desired result. So, just a thought. Boy, this bird is so unique. Like the eye is so far back, it's like throwing me. It's really throwing me off here. Like how unrealistic this bird looks. It looks like somebody described what a bird looks like to someone who's never seen one before, and they're like, I want an orange bird to exist in the world. And just, you know, make them fluffy. Give them great hair. Hair goals of a teenager. Make them fluffy. And, yeah. You know, don't forget an eye. Like the eyes seem like an afterthought. Very much like, oh, I forgot to put the eyes in. And then, just, oh, that's really far. That's a really far setback. Is what this looks like. And then from the front view, like it doesn't look right because it's so like flat. This bird's really gotta be looking at two things at once and splitting the chore here of trying to make sure that it's seeing all the things it needs to see, which just boggles my mind. A lot of things do. This is just one of them. So again, this is just going to be a huge blending thing where I just keep going over and over and over the same areas with more colors of orange to really reinforce and bring to life what the picture brings to life. And the pictures of this bird are really, really stunning. So I want to make sure I do them justice. But yeah, if you like orange, then this might be the bird for you. I don't think people own these. I haven't seen any articles. I was looking online and trying to read and see some stuff about this bird. Like 75% of its diet is, you know, fruit, but then it also eats a little bit of bugs, insects, lizards, things like that. But I didn't see any article where people own this bird, which is really, really cool. Like, I love if you want to see this bird, you need binoculars and some good hiking boots. Like, that's really cool. So, we are not going to get any fanciful ideas about ownership here. All good things are wild and free. Okay. We need a little bit darker over here, and then I'm gonna have to put in that stripe at some point. Yeah. Not what I thought I was gonna be drawing today. Well, I picked it out a couple days ago. When I saw it, I was like, that's a weird bird, and I like doing funny things on Fridays. It's been a week. It has been an absolute week, folks. So, having a funny thing to look forward to draw. And I've never drawn one of these before, so that's like another added bonus. I never knew about this bird, so if I had known sooner, I would have drawn it. I would have definitely drawn this bird before. Because the shape. But again, this is going to be one of those where if people have never seen it and they don't know what it looks like, it's going to look a little bit more like a puffy alien. What is she doing over there? No one knows. She's just inventing things that aren't even bird-like anymore. I know. So, and some things get lost in translation, and that's okay. Maybe it'll inspire folks to look up this bird independently if they see my picture of it. And then they can think, oh wow, that is crazy. I've never drawn that. I should totally draw that. And hopefully it inspires more people to draw this bird as well. And if that's all that comes out of this, then I consider the day an absolute success. We could all learn about new weird birds together. I don't know, some of you may be very familiar with this bird if you live in areas where it is, you know, Venezuela, Colombia, some of those places. I just was not familiar. And again, I really need, I need to get myself a bird book. I think it's time we own one of those. So that will be a thing that I have to pick up, purchase, and then leisurely go through and start bookmarking. I just use little page tabs or whatever. Oh, my footages. And then I'll mark some of these birds for later, for next year, or if I just can't wait and it's calling to me, I may draw a couple more birds before the year is through, before I get on to my 2024 plans. He really said, you know the slice of an orange? Yeah, I want that on my head. What? I want a slice of an orange on my head. Why would you want a slice of the orange on your head? You are what you eat. Yeah, this bird is totally something else. Oh, this video. What has been your favorite bird so far that you've drawn, or you've seen somebody draw, or you've seen online? I'd be curious to know. I've never owned a bird. My mom has owned birds, but that is not something that I have ever done. She had spice finches, one, and she had some other little finches and things when I was growing up, when I was really little. They were really cute. There was Rosebud. I remember that bird, Mom, when I was super, super little. I remember Rosebud. And then she had Navarre and Isabeau. I know, my mom is like really great with the bird names. She's where I get my creativity from. I've just never seen anything like this bird in my life. So this is sort of the mid-range color. And I'm gonna go back in some areas and add some black, just because you need more than one color on a part. I can't explain it, but if you want to add more interest and intrigue to your illustrations, always add at least a couple colors to every area. Like, it just looks better if there's highlights and shadow and there's just more depth. So around here it starts to get a little darker in the middle. I can't explain it. Maybe a little bit over here. Ooh, I can hear my husband. It sounds like he's baking. It's been rainy. I vote for baked goods. That's what I'm voting for. Okay. So we are starting to get there with this illustration a little bit. It's starting to look like how I want it to look, but I need it a little bit more opaque. There isn't a lot of white shining through. In fact, there's no white shining through. So for the highlight areas of this bird, it's almost, you know, a really light orange or a warm yellow for the highlights. And then the shadows are going to be an orange so dark, it's, you know, it's leading into reds. So that is the best way I would describe how to illustrate this bird. Just make sure you're using warm colors here. I have some cooler reds, so I have to go over them a little bit with warmer oranges just to kind of pop them out a little bit. But this bird is so unique. Are you seeing it come to life? I hope so. I hope so. I really enjoy when I watch somebody drawing and I can start seeing what they are envisioning. Makes me happy. And then also being able to draw how you envision it. That comes with a lot of practice. But once you get there with what you're working on, it's very, very rewarding. So part of this looks a little darker orange, and part of it looks a little warmer around the edge. But it's feathers, isn't it? Feathers. And lots and lots and lots and lots of blending. Lots of blending. So I'm here for all of it. I'm here for the practice. So all practice is good practice. And layering. Practice your layering. Know what colors look like on top of each other. And then you can make them work for you, not against you. I want a little bit of yellow highlight in here, so I may put a little bit of yellow. You see how long it takes me just to do this one little portion? It's not a race. I mean, it could be, but it's more of a marathon than a sprint for sure. You gotta trust in the process, especially when you're going through like what they call the ugly phase. You're like midway through something. And it's not obvious you just started, but it's obvious you're definitely not done. Just keep going. Know that it'll get there. Trust yourself that it'll get there. Oh, this bird is so funny. I want to do a little yellow. I want to do a little yellow. A little yellow. It's unique. You kind of get what I'm laying down here. It's a unique bird. Very unique bird. I like it. I'm going to be hard pressed to find some other really unique birds for the next couple Fridays. Just because there's so many I'm not aware of, and there's so many that exist in the world. I really need to branch out. Okay, so you're kind of getting what I'm doing here for the head. Here's the eye, the unapologetic eye, the afterthought of an eye. And I'm just using the Caran d'Ache luminescence. This is the carmine. It's a convenience color for sure, but it's come in really handy for the birds, for animals. Make sure that eye is super orange. All right, I'm gonna just keep plugging away, and then eventually I'll finish this tater tot of a body. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed me rambling and chatting. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.